Oh, hi there. Didn't notice you guys. I'm just building a new Pokemon deck, and I wanted to give you guys some tips on deck building. So, when building a Pokemon deck, you gotta keep in mind that you're using only 60 cards exactly. No more, no less. And then, you wanna find out who your main attacker is. In my deck, it's Charizard EX, because he has a really cool attack that lets you dictate the pace of play. He also has an ability that lets him power himself and other Pokemon up. And so, with that, I can play less fire energy in my deck. You also want to think about your supporting Pokemon. Since Charizard cares about your opponent knocking out your Pokemon, why not control how many prize cards your opponent takes by playing some Dusclops and stuff? And then I have some supporting Pokemon. Pidgeot EX is a pretty good favorite because I really only need to evolve into Charizard twice, so I don't need all my rare candies. And so all 4 of my rare candies can go into something else, like this guy, who supports my play. And then I have some Pokemon that help me draw a bunch of cards. This guy helps me draw cards whenever a Pokemon gets knocked out, and this guy just does a really cool attack to draw me cards. Then all my supporting trainers and supporters. If you're playing a lot of good items that you want to look for, Arven's a pretty good choice. He's pretty much a staple in every single deck that plays any items, which should be yours. And then tools, so that Arven can grab something other than just an item. Right now, this isn't complete because I'm going from whatever the past standard was to post-rotation standard, and I've taken out all the F cards, and I'm going to be only putting in G, H, and I regulation marker cards. So those are cards that have a little marker in the bottom right, or sorry, left, that says G, H, and I. Now, I can play some cards that are slightly older, like this Ultra Ball, because Ultra Ball has been reprinted with a different regulation marker. So, since this does the same thing, I can still play it. But that doesn't really count for other Pokemon because they typically only print new versions of the Pokemon cards and not reprint older versions. And if they do, like this Cleffa here, it's more a callback to Cleffa of days past instead of actually just the same functional Cleffa. Another thing you might want to consider is the different types of baby Pokemons you can play. I play a couple of regular Charmanders that have 70 HP to avoid getting bench sniped by Dragapult. But I also play 160 HP Charmander because it has an easier attack, 1 energy, so I can get rid of any pesky baby Pokemon that I want to get rid of, like Badoo. And then don't forget your A-Spec. You can only have 1 of these in a deck, and it's a fairly powerful effect. You have a lot of good options, and currently I'm between a couple. I might keep playing Unfair Stamp, but depending on what my local meta is, I might change it up to something like Precious Trolley to load up my bench with all the basics that I need, Sparkling Crystal because I'm playing some Terra Pokemon that has some really cool attacks, Grand Tree in case I need to evolve straight up from a baby Pokemon to an adult Pokemon, or Stage 2, or Prime Catcher, which is just generically good because it lets you swap in your Pokemon and then gust out an opponent's Pokemon. But yeah, a lot of different options, a lot of different supporting Pokemon, and if you ever need help, you guys can come by Phat Catz Gaming and we'll see about helping you out. Thanks for joining me on my deck building adventure. See you in the next one.